Yo, yo, yiggity, yo.
Greetings, YouTube. Greetings, our people getting ready to come in on Zoom, and we have TikTok set up as well.
I was saying some songs like
Of course, my little delegation co-host is here.
yeah.
He's literally sitting right next to me
Yeah,
trying
you're really not doing this unless you have a little delegation next to you.
to
You know it's got a birthday cake on your stories.
a birthday cake.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a Leo, I didn't think it was that, but yeah, it's showing a birthday cake on your stories. And I was like, maybe you did something this time
Maybe it's
last year.
Adams. It's Adams, maybe.
Oh, well, okay, well, happy solo return to bro then. You know what I mean?
No.
The nephew said no.
Yeah, that's his word he just learned.
Oh, I get it. Oh, this guy back there with the no. And he always no.
That's what he's hearing.
Stop.
That's what everybody's hearing on my camera, guys.
Stop. My little guy is always stop. Like, okay, all right.
No.
It's all good. We get it.
He's one. I don't even know why he knows no. No. Hey, Linnea. All right. Hey, Angela. Okay. Let's go ahead and let our friends-in-law in, guys. Now he's saying non-words. But him developing that little muscle on his lip, he stretches out really long.
Oh yeah.
All right, are all our friends in? Good. Let's go ahead and let our friends in.
I am not co-host,
Yeah, we
so I
haven't been
cannot.
Oh, neither one of y'all is co-host. Oh,
Correcto mundo.
boom.
Oh,
And
y'all are.
how?
Yeah, everyone. You said let them all in?
Yeah, let's let all our friends-in-law in.
This is Newbie Tuesday. Guys, get
Yes, it
on in
is.
here. Where y'all at? Where all y'all?
Right? Go ahead and share out the live if you're joining us on TikTok. This is Newbie Tuesday. So we're going to be talking about newbie stuff, foundational stuff.
Forever a new.
I hear that, Linnea. I hear that. All right. Great day and welcome everyone to today's live. Y'all hear my co-host right here trying to welcome y'all into.
Word.
Welcome in, whether you're joining us on live on TikTok or on Zoom or even on YouTube. Welcome in, and we appreciate each and every one of you being here. So invite a friend to the live. This is open session, so no gatekeeping necessary. Gratitude for the gifts, Lotus. Appreciate you. And everybody that's tapping out the live. Hey, you can't actually talk though. Gratitude for the daily heart, me guys. So today is Tuesday, and on Tuesdays we have what we call Newbie Tuesdays, where we talk about foundational stuff. And the reason why this is so important is because we come across people as coaches, as mentors, we come across people who don't see themselves as newbies. They might see themselves as maybe intermediate or even advanced, yet and still they are expressing that they lack a proper foundation in their comprehension. So that's why some people say that they are forever newbies, because they recognize that they might have to change in their make a change in their comprehension, or I should say a change in their foundation, right, upon which all of their actions and reactions are based. So what do we mean by that? How are newbies or people who might think that they're not newbies expressing that they need some Newbie Tuesday? It comes in the form of, so you mean I don't have to authenticate my birth certificate? Or perhaps you're arguing that that is a necessary step, which we have disproven. Okay. How have we disproven that? Well, it's the same way that we have disproven several other, what we will call newbie or foundational ideas. For example, that you need to get a trust. Hassan actually sent me something about that this morning. And you saw my reply? I don't know if you saw my reply because I know you got on live, Hassan. But there's nothing inherently wrong with having a trust. When it becomes an issue is when we're sold the idea, typically, again, to newbies and to people who might see themselves as not newbies, but they still have the same foundational flaw, which is that having a trust automatically means that you could use that trust to protect assets from being liened, or from liens on those assets that you might transfer into a trust from being challenged or taken. And some of us who might still see ourselves as newbies, or maybe a little bit more advanced than newbies, how many people have experienced putting property in a trust that has a lien or an alleged lien or a purported lien, and therefore that trust gets breached so that that property can be taken from you? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Some guru online gave you gas, guru abuse syndrome, telling you that simply putting your property in a trust is what protects it. And is, again, nothing wrong with putting property in a trust. I would recommend that whatever property you're putting in your trust not have any actual or a purported liens on it.
Can I put my kids in a trust?
I'm still trying to figure out how you do that, unless the kids are the trust beneficiaries, and so you write their name in as who is to benefit from the property in the trust. However, it is a newbie idea that is sold by the gas givers, the guru abuse syndrome folks, that you can put your children in a trust in some other type of way other than just naming them as beneficiaries, which I still don't. I actually asked someone that genuinely, because I was like, well, maybe I'm missing something. Anybody ever had that experience? Maybe I'm missing something. Let me ask the people who are alleging to
All
do
the time.
this thing how exactly they're doing it. And instead of actually articulating an answer, what do you typically get, Linnea? Or
Screamed
anyone?
at. Anger.
You get anger, even if they're not screaming. But yeah, they also do scream sometimes. They get defensive. Yes, you get
They
anger.
lash out.
You get defense. Yes, anybody know? Anyone experience that?
I second that motion.
Or here's
yeah.
another option. They give you silence. They give you silence. They ignore the question completely. So there is, I'll say, I don't know what you want to call this person. And I'll just tell you what they do. Some of you actually know their name. Some of you may realize you know their name after I describe what they do. This is the guy who purports that you need to correct your status, standing, and position in order. You need to what?
Demonstrate.
No, because he's gone. And I never actually heard him say that sequence of terms. I'll say status, standing, and position. Y'all, some of y'all know who I'm talking about. but it's not the who that matters. It's the words that they're saying. So we're going to try to give you guys the tools to develop your ears of discernment.
Word.
So that you know when you're hearing people saying certain phrases, that they are the internet gurus giving gas, the guru abuse syndrome, that we're giving you ears of discernment so that you can avoid if you have not come across them, or you could move on when you do come across them. And this is important because a lot of us have just gotten into the habit of just blocking these people. However, blocking them means that, and I'm not saying not to block them, right? But blocking them means that it's out of sight, out of mind. So you think it's not happening anymore because you've blocked them, so you're not hearing it anymore. But guess what? The people in our audience, aren't you guys hearing it all the time because you have not blocked them yet? Who's going to be honest? Who's going to be honest and raise their hand and say, yes, I hear this nonsense all the time? Because although the people who know the real foundational law, we might block them. So we think it's not happening anymore. We think that people are not being abused by these ideas. It's air grape. So your audience is still unfortunately being abused. And then here's the worst part. Some people will say things like, when they get it, when the ideas, not necessarily them, when the ideas that they spew get exposed, they start saying things like, well, to each his own. To each his own. Who can articulate why that's dangerous? Anybody? Who can articulate why that's dangerous?
Well, it's a corner day for me today, so I'm gonna wait, sit in this corner, and then I'll give my answer.
Well, that's why I said anybody can participate. But I appreciate you allowing others to share why they are saying it first, and see if maybe they got what you were gonna say.
Yeah,
That's kind of like saying it is what it is. Dangerous statement as well.
But why? That's true. Why is that dangerous? Why is it dangerous to say to each his own when we're talking about law?
Because law has to be particular and specific.
Exactly. When you're talking about law, it is not to each his own. You better get in those rules, or that's going to be your ass.
Yep.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, it's irresponsible. I mean, because and I know that it's like a season. I'll just call it a season, right? That's happening. That I think there's more than just our community that's actually looking at these things now. Like, and then I think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to realize, like, despite what their age is, they still got to recognize that they don't know how to implement the jurisprudence alphabet yet into a sentence. They don't.
I don't even know if they know the alphabet. They get stuck at E and talk about exclusive equity.
Jesus Christ, that's true.
So
Okay.
it's dangerous because of what was just said. Law is precise. You typically have to argue things in law with particularity. Have you guys heard that term before? Particularity and specificity. If you're dealing with law, go ahead, Linnea.
No, that's exactly what they say when people leave very threadbare details to their count. And they say, no, it has to be with specificity. You can't just say I was deprived or they trespassed.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
And you can't just say, well, to each his own. I express it like this. No, we're going by rules. And although when counts have elements, right? You can't just freestyle, can you?
Or like with a search warrant, it has to particularly describe the places to be searched and the things or people to be seized to not give the agents or the one serving the warrant discretion at all as to what is being stated in the warrant.
Absolutely. That's a perfect example. So the whole to each his own, like, oh, those people over there are doing this and the people over here are doing that. And that, and you know, they both work. They try to make it as if it's equivalent. They try to make it as if, oh, well, we might be doing it a different way, but it's equivalent. It is not equivalent. Very dangerous to say to each his own. Okay, so Angela says, what's the best way to get rid of a lien on your house? What I'm going to recommend, Angela, is that, we were talking about this all night last night. But the best way to get rid of a lien on your house is to challenge who's attempting to enforce that lien with specificity. Okay? We actually have a free class about that. I don't know if the whole URL can't fit on here, but I'm going to do this for you and others, Angela. If you guys take a screenshot right now of what I have here on the TikTok screen, since this was a TikTok question, if you guys take a screenshot of what I have right here, Angela, this answers your question. I have free training, so don't hesitate to take a screenshot, use your other device right now and scan this QR code I have here above my head. It will take you to our free guard training, which shows you how to challenge a lien on your home. A proper challenge of the alleged lien can remove it. You cannot remove it by transferring the property into a trust. It doesn't matter what kind of trust that it is. It doesn't matter if it's ecclesiastical trust or if it is a irrevocable trust, or if it's a revocable trust, or if it's a 98 trust or EIN or whatever.
How about a super secret agriculture lien?
It's the same way, because somebody's going to try to enforce that lien, isn't it? Isn't someone going to try to enforce that lien? They're going to either try to enforce it by demanding payment. They're going to try to enforce it by foreclosing on that lien, or they're going to try to enforce it by claiming that they could help you modify it. It's going to be one of those three things, right? They're going to try to collect payment. They're going to say, well, you can try to modify it with us. Or they're going to say, well, we're going to foreclose on that lien. All of those are attempts to enforce. So here is how you lawfully challenge the enforcement of any mortgage or really any lien, because it could be it's the same process for cars of what you're challenging. Okay, so let me go back to what my my pinned post actually was. No, I gotta go back and find it. This is for if you guys want to join our community. If you want to join our lawful living community, you can scan this QR code right here. And once you get over to our website, you can also find the guard training, which I'm offering to everybody for free. So I don't have to keep saying it over and over and over and over. Just watch that video. You'll know exactly what to do at the end. And I also give you an offer if you wish to get help. Ty says, I think they have to look at your rooms because I might be blocked by some and haven't even been in your rooms. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying there, Ty. Question. Can always do as thy wilt, right? Because you know, and I've heard other teachers saying this now, that they just don't care about the people who are led astray. What do you guys think about that?
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Why is that wow?
Because aren't they supposed to be leading us somewhere? And we're led astray? That makes sense.
But is it whose responsibility is that? I'm just saying that there's some teachers, some mentors, some leaders, if you will, that have built a solid foundation in their own comprehension, and they are like either burnt out or annoyed by having to talk about these things that we go over every single Tuesday. Can you guys relate?
I'd rather
What do you
talk
guys
about
think
it a
about that?
lot. I'd rather talk about it a lot so that I can get more and more information out of it as it goes along. And if they can't pass it on, I can pass it on to someone.
But can you guys understand why it could be annoying to people who are actually trying to impart real education, having to battle people who are insisting that they need to correct their status? Or that all you need is this, all you need is the Bible and a Black's Law 6th edition, right? A thesaurus, right? A concise English dictionary.
And the UCC codes.
Some of them don't even say you need the UCC codes, but yes, some of them say you need the UCC codes. These are things that people have to battle. You, or I should say, like the learned people, especially those who teach, can you understand why they might be annoyed having to go over this stuff? Especially if you do have the pushback, because it seems like some people just want to be deceived. What do you guys think about that? Let's hear it, guys.
That's tough because as somebody who teaches my own kids all the time, I can understand that frustration with having to go over the same thing repeatedly. But there is, I think, a certain amount of grace that you have to have if you're going, if you really want to help. You're gonna have to talk about the same things repeatedly. You're gonna have to go over things that seem simple over and over again if you want to help the people that need the help the most.
So someone on TikTok makes a great point. Great point, too, Linnea. When and relating it to having to speak to your children is a very good analogy. However, you could probably more understand it pouring into your children than some of these folks that give you pushback. All right. So Dre says people don't want to be deceived, but they're looking for confirmation bias instead of truth. What do you guys think about that?
Well, there's confirmation bias when it comes to this community because I had to watch As Above, So Below just to get into this community.
Right. But we're talking about the ideas that are deceiving people that sometimes they cling to, which causes people that would otherwise help them go, you know what? Go ahead and get deceived. Go ahead and get got. Go ahead and give somebody. It does, to me, it doesn't matter if it's free information, if it's deceiving, much less if you have to pay anything, $1, $100, $1,000. Because it's about mindset, is it not? Name says they find fooling easier than explaining and educating. I think the deceivers are on that path, and those who mean well may sometimes come across those rooms or blogs or websites or groups where there are the deceivers leading those groups, but then the people in the group seem like they cannot be helped. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think
Of
it's always
course,
going to be those people that can't be helped. They're not mentally in a place to accept instruction. They can't think clearly. They don't read good. What can you do?
They can't unlearn some things.
And this is why other leaders just block the whole thing.
because they don't have the compassion to recognize that most of the people you're interacting with, honestly, no matter how embarrassing it may sound, are either undiagnosed, untreated neurodivergent or some other kind of processing that doesn't allow them to comprehend it the way we're sharing it. Therefore, some programming for them to be able to comprehend has to be built, like a kiln for a potter who just wants to really build pots. But you got to build a kiln first so it can, you can glaze it and finish it so it doesn't really crack on you so easily. Get what I'm saying there?
I was on We Are Law earlier, just kind of scrolling through the help sections, and one guy was saying something about, "Hey, I'm new in this, I'm learning this," but then he was regurgitating what he had to do as far as getting his birth certificate authenticated, like he was seasoned in the information, but it just kind of.
No, Eldon, that's the trust me, I'm credible. I'm really in this thing, but I don't have the comprehension. So I'm hoping, stop screaming. So I'm hoping if I throw out some buzzwords and catchphrases, you will see I'm credible. That's not them showing that they comprehend what they're saying.
I think Don is talking about someone who is saying that they're learning it, though, not necessarily someone that's trying to teach it.
Right,
Correct.
So they're
exactly.
trying to show that they know it.
But they
Right.
need help and they want further comprehension, right? Or further help, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly. So, and if then in order for them to get that, so they don't think, oh, so I don't want these people that I'm asking for help, or I really want people to help me, I have to make myself not seem like somebody that's just trolling.
And in the same reply, I think someone replied something, "You have to study the law." Okay. Then
Damn,
what?
just saying that, though, you have to study the law. That sounds so vague. That sounds like go read the whole Bible, go read the whole of Black's Law 6, then read a whole thesaurus, and then read the whole commercial code, and then you get on my level. Doesn't that sound the same?
You know what, Malika, before I met you, right, and did this thing with just embracing this community, the thing I had, for in the Moorish community was called first aid, right? First aid ministry, first Aboriginal Indigenous Defense Ministry, right? Why am I bringing that up? Just for the first aid part. When
Okay.
you go for first aid, right? You have a wound or an injury. No one tells you to go study medicine. Nobody, right? So now let's say you go to administer antiseptic to a laceration, very small paper cut, right? You got a paper cut, so very small laceration, but it hurts, it's bleeding. You go and put the antiseptic, you go and put a bandage on it, and maybe it still gets infected some kind of way, right? And so now you go, hey, doc, I need some help with this. I think I got an infection, even though I got a first aid kit, use a bandage on my laceration and some antiseptic. Using those terms don't mean that they really know medical lingo. They're just trying to go, hey, I really need some help. Hey, I did do this to try to treat it, but help me. And then the doctor goes, well, you really need to go to law school. I mean, medicine school of medicine. No, nobody does that. Nobody does that. However, if that same patient is one that's like, hey, yeah, I'm injured, but I'm also learning this right now, what else can I do? Well, first, let's heal that. And then, boom, here's some suggestions of what you can do after we done got you set on the path of healing. And here's my bill. You know what I mean? Hope the copay takes, you know what I mean? Just real talk. Like
that's true. No one goes, I got a cut. Let me go to medical school. But
no.
that's what some are basically suggesting, just to figure out simple things like beating a traffic ticket,
Word.
parking ticket,
Word.
simple things like beating a debt collector that might come after you for credit card debt, a small credit card debt, $1,000, or bigger alleged debt like a student loan or a car loan, or then of course mortgage, stuff like that. Dre on TikTok says, I'm neurodivergent, ADHD, dyslexic. Shit, I'm slightly dyslexic, so that's what happens to me when I read. And autistic. It helped me see through the BS and evolve. Okay, someone else here on Zoom says, I know I'm neurodivergent, but I'm also self-aware and struggle with unworthiness. You know, that brings up like some questions for me about the mindset that we might come into this information with that causes us to get gas, that causes us to be misled, that causes us to not be as sensitive to the BS meter. Okay. She said, struggle with unworthiness. Therefore, I'm way too grateful to sit and push back against someone taking the time to try.
Yep, that's true. That is absolute. That comes with it. That's another part of that neurodivergent package. And only because, and listen, again, not necessarily looking for sympathy. I don't care. But since I am reflecting and actively, assisting while also at the same time reflecting on me and myself, I recognize me and other friends-in-law. And I think, what usually comes off or may appear to be brash is me really recognizing neurodivergence in other people, trying to either talk them down from either some hard or soft stemming that they're doing, right? And then being able to go, hey, this is how I do what I do in order to do X, Y, and Z. Hopefully you can do that and that helps. If it doesn't, cool, great. Because I'm not a therapist, right? But I do see and I can hear when you guys are doing these things. The difference is what I'm going to do different from my mother and father. I'm not going to get a belt and kick your ass and tell you to get your shit together. I'm going to recognize it and see like, oh, okay. All right, I get it. I see what's happening here. This is what's actually happening. This is the goal you want. This is what happened. And in order for you to reach your goal, these are the steps you got to take one by one. Don't try to cram so much. And what I've seen in those that reluctantly in sessions, I'll never say who you are, but I'll go, you have a learning disability or you're a little neurodivergent, and they just get, yeah, I do, man. I'm struggling. And it's like, yo, hey, so the fuck what?
So when people get to like 3/4 into the consultation and they go, okay, so what do you actually think about trademarking my name?
Neurodivergence, bing, popping up.
And I'm over here like, no.
Because you never brought it up. You never brought up neurodivergence, but their processing in their mind goes, well, she knows this, so what if I ask her about this? Yeah, she'll, again.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing about it is not that they're asking me about it, but remember, because you were on that call that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The first 3/4 of the conversation was, this is why putting your property in a trust, and then, for example, putting the trust as the plaintiff when you're trying to challenge a lien on your property, it's not gonna get you the results you think it's gonna get, unless, of course, you find an attorney that's willing to work with you, asserting the same things that you would have needed to assert as your private self. Now, though, from the angle of a trust, because whether you come at it as your private self or you come at it through a trust using an attorney, you're still going to have to challenge the admissible evidence. You're still going to have to challenge, like, it still comes down to the same thing. And what we're seeing, the more that we clarify the pattern, because I think that that's the issue. People don't know how to recognize certain patterns. And so while the people who learn to develop the eyes and the ears to catch the pattern so that they know exactly what to apply, like you say, just surgically, like a scalpel, all right? They're taking, it's like when you get onto a live, and this is real. I'm on the panel of a live, and forgive me if you've heard this story before. Someone comes up on the panel and goes, I am a commercial driver of those big rigs. I got a ticket. Okay. How do I handle that? And the question that's asked back is, and I'm waiting like, oh, how is the panel going to handle this? Oh, did you correct your status? I'm like,
Is it red? Should we say red flag or neurodivergent flag?
I think red flag.
I'm gonna go with
From the
neurodivergent flag.
leader, the leadership that asked that question. Did you correct your status? Total red flag.
Okay.
They're not neurodivergent. They're a dumbass.
Oh, okay.
That's not the same thing.
Got you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's kind of disingenuous, and you should just say, I don't know how to answer your issue. I don't know how to help you, and allow someone else on the panel, like Malika, who cut her teeth in the law education space with traffic ticket bullshit.
Right.
Okay. Instead
Right.
of allowing somebody to answer, because I was, like I said, on the panel, they just mess up the whole thing by going, did you correct your status? Why are you taking them around over here when the answer is right here? Why are you sending people on these excursions? And it's and you know the bad part is it's totally irrelevant. Can you guys write that word down? My newbies, type irrelevance. Por favor. Because here's the thing that I'm going to clarify for all my newbies and everybody else who might not see themselves as a newbie but still has not realized this. It actually does not matter what is true. Is that blowing somebody's mind right now? If that statement is blowing your mind right now, let me know. It does not actually matter what is true.
Right. It's what you can prove, right?
Everything can prove.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. People be like, I just want to learn the truth. Why do you want to learn the truth is the sky is blue. Grass is green. Asphalt is black. Is that not true?
Yeah, truth has never been shut out.
It's
Truth
not
has
that
always
you
been
don't
present.
know the truth.
This is
You
why
don't
everything is
know
alleged.
what is relevant. What was that, Nana?
I said this is why everything is alleged until proven.
That is exactly true. Everything is a mere factual allegation until and unless it can be proven. With what?
And it's tough that some people got to sit in jail
Admissible evidence.
until that happens.
Say that again, Hassan.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she said admissible evidence, and I'm just saying, like, yeah, like, and it sucks because some people got to sit in the bullpen or sit over the weekend while there hasn't been anything proven about whatever has been cited pertaining to their behavior. No, some people they're in jail or in the bullpen of some booking, right? Small jail for some victimless non-crime.
What about the statement?
Yeah, but it's an
guilt?
infraction.
I get what you're saying, but the statement that we was talking about was we should be dealing with proof, right?
No, not just proof. Admissible evidence. And I'm only clarifying because there's lots of people who think that because someone filed something onto the record, that it has been admitted into evidence. Because it is, they're trying to use proof, right? Oh, look, the proof is right there. Is it admissible evidence though? Right? That's the only reason I'm clarifying, bro. Continue your point. You're on mute or something, Hassan? Or did you stop talking?
Be on mute.
I'm sorry, y'all. I think I was having another moment because I just saw something. I'm paying attention and a squirrel situation happened.
Okay.
But what happened though? I'm sorry. Where was I at, y'all? Where was I at?
You said it. They're trying to submit proof.
Yeah. Well, that's why when you had made the statement about it's not about what the truth is, about what you can. Why did stop? Oh, that's somebody's note taker. So it's like you said, it's about what you can can prove, and that's just the way I was going with that. Like if there's no proof to something, right? Isn't sitting on an infraction that hasn't been proven or whatever, like you're sitting somewhere as if you have been convicted, but you haven't been convicted, but it's being euphemized at best, sugar coated as you're just being held until this happens. Like,
Yes,
no, no, I don't think that's no. But
I was
that's
gonna say, according to the driver's license, isn't the driver the infraction attended upon when they stop you or you're caught by camera? Well, how can they prove that it was actually you driving if they never got a license?
And that's a great question. However, most newbies are so busy trying to show that the law is generally inapplicable to them that we actually miss our opportunity to challenge that proof or admissible evidence as
word,
admissible evidence.
word.
So that's a great question. And, that just goes to show that there is a gap in mental, not just like comprehension, but where you are in this process of comprehension. People will often say, I want to know the truth. But I mean, and then you get into the my truth and your truth is and all this other stuff. But as we said, the law is particular. And what most people don't like is that the law is not a respecter of persons. And they don't see that trying to do things like correcting your status or anything in that realm is an attempt to make it that law is a respecter of your person. Is that not true? My newbies.
Word.
Is it not true that when you try to say, I'm an American national, that is an attempt to say that the law is respecting that person that I declare myself to be? Is that not an attempt to do that? It's okay if you guys disagree. I want to hear it.
Yep. Yippity yep yep.
Satan fools the whole world. Here we are. I don't know if Satan fools the whole world. That's why we get into the, if you want to say debate. Is it that people want to be fooled? Because they'll say they just want to know the truth.
I don't know. Maybe I got in trouble too much as a child to I guess, and I'm sorry, I may be having a moment here, of you're making excuses for your own taking responsibility for stuff, and that might not be right to say, but I know as I grew up, I wasn't allowed any excuses. And I know that's abusive to a certain degree. So I still had to push through shit. So maybe that's why I am the way that I am in this space with law. So every time I hear an excuse, I immediately have to tell myself, don't tell them stop bitching and moaning and making excuses respectfully. And I'm not being disrespectful. I think I'm just
I would
just being honest.
stop bitching and moaning and making excuses, because it's explaining something legit is not necessarily the same as an excuse, right? And you don't technically have to make excuses. You can say, you know what, I own that, right? I'm gonna do better next time. There is actually no excuse. There might be a reason, like, hey, why were you late? I caught a flat tire. That's not an excuse. Does everybody understand? I caught a flat tire is not an excuse. So we actually have to pray we know the difference between whether we are making excuses and whether it's like, even if you caught a flat tire, you could still be like, I should have been better prepared. I should have checked that tire the night before. That's taking personal responsibility. You know what I mean? And that's what people prefer.
Indeed.
We don't actually have to give an excuse. Be like, hey, I ain't got no excuse. I just fucked up.
I got an emotional outburst question though, Malika, if I may.
Go ahead.
How many Christians has this more helped?
I mean, they would have to identify themselves because I don't go around asking people, are you Christian?
They really don't have
Are
to
you-
answer, but the fact that there are people with receipts that are not openly Moorish or anything else, usually most of them
What? You didn't
are
make them join
Christian.
your temple?
Huh?
Was he
You didn't
reading
make
my
them join
mind
your
when I
temple,
just
bro?
made this?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Was
Did
you
you-
reading my mind when the comment I just made?
What'd you say? What comment?
I just said, even in religion, how can you prove what the book says if you didn't do research or wasn't there?
You know what I mean? Like, come on. And that's the reason why I said what I said. Like, how many Christians has this more helped? If it was the devil, and to most Christians, Moors are not in Jesus and things of that nature. Well, why are you going to Satan then for help?
We don't care who we get help from, Hassan.
Or I'm your brother.
Especially when we have a bleeding issue. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, my neck is bleeding, and then you go into the hospital and go, is he Muslim or Christian or
so then why do
Protestant?
we care to project our shortcomings on an imaginary excuse?
Because maybe you don't actually want help.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm sorry.
is
The more
okay,
ain't supposed
too.
to say that. I'm supposed to say Allah Christ. I don't know. What's the
Allah
pronunciation?
Christ.
I'm being funny now. Now I'm being
You are so hilarious.
That's why they're gonna kick you out of the temple, Hassan.
I know, right?
You and your fez.
Yeah, I know, right? This Moore is out of control. He wants to see everybody do right and have peace on earth. How dare he not just keep it in a pocket group full of fez wearing, turban wearing Moors?
Sahar, I brought my whistle, okay? Don't make me have to bust it out.
All right, I yield. I'm off it. I'm here with y'all. Let's continue.
You should see the crying, laughing reacts on TikTok right now.
Oh, I got to get my phone. Hold on, let me get my 7 so I can see what y'all saying over there.
So some of the other things that that I want you guys to look out for as newbies are fast talkers.
Word.
Who can say why that is a red flag? Who can articulate why fast talkers are more than likely a red flag?
Because they're not being deliberate in making sure you're comprehending the message they're communicating.
But they are absolutely trying to make you comprehend something else.
The bottom line.
I don't think. What is the bottom line that they're trying to get you to comprehend?
My $5,500 class to read the Bible with me for court.
Hey, yo.
He's gonna give him the stage. He needs the stage.
Huh?
Linnea busted in. Hey, yo, what?
You're not really doing
Need the
that, are they?
stage today.
Surely not.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yes, they are.
Linnea, I'm not telling you to come over to the dark side on TikTok. But if you want content that's gonna forever prove that we need to have your Newbie Tuesday guide, which you so gracefully put together for the entire community to share,
Word.
you probably gonna be editing it. Like, okay, we're gonna add this in there. Okay.
Correct.
Linea's cracking like, hey, yo, what? The reason what let me see what you guys are saying about why the fast talking is a red flag. Freedom says I love being racist so much.
That's
That
what I
must
was
be what
laughing.
Hassan was just talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. Like, yo.
Telling people, you don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. You don't understand the problems of my people, Freedom.
It's funny.
It's like, do they have traffic ticket issues too? Do they have CPS issues too? Do they have like, or is it different issues because of y'all's people?
Yeah, that's wild. It was water.
Name says, oh, Malika, I have the perfect article by psychological study of sob-sit mentality evaluation by courts. Have you been hanging out with godly names?
That's not a bad
Because Godly said something like that last night, and we were actually reading it like, what is he saying? And then we realized he's messing with us.
Yeah.
So the issue with the fast talkers is that they're only trying to impress you. They're trying to impress you that they're so full of wonderful knowledge and information, and they're trying to get it all out there, that they're just rambling, la, 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 and the herediments and the tenements and the securities and the CRIS system. There go Godly. Stay away from each other. Stay. Names unnecessary and godly, y'all stay away from each other. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? These fast talkers want to impress you with the appearance of intelligence and knowledge. So they like when you say things like, oh, can you slow down? Can you repeat that? When they're just going, well, herediments and tenements. And they're, you know, smoking a 16 cigarettes a day, right? And they say their things with their whole chest, and then they end everything they say with right.
Yes, I was just thinking that, like a smooth talker, right? And then I'm gonna do this, baby. I'm gonna do that, right? Right? No, right.
And it's usually not right. And it could be said that you are leading the witness. Y'all ever heard that in court or in law? Leading the witness? You're asking a leading question? You guys ever heard of that? Even in movies or shows. They say just listen slow.
Trust me. Honestly, I'm being honest.
Red flag. Trust me.
Well, I'm an officer of the court.
You got to make your voice go up at the end. I'm an officer of the court. Right, y'all? And I can verify it's the original. Did y'all see my screenshot I posted of Freedom saying that? Typing that into the chat with the red flags? I posted it to promote today's Newbie Tuesday on the Lawful Living community. When they're talking fast and they're telling you about these fantastical things like the herediments and the tenements, they're just throwing terms out there to try to impress you with the perception of intellect. Does everybody get that?
Yep, dazzle them with big words.
Razzle dazzle.
Yes, they're trying to dazzle you with their brilliance when they're actually just baffling you with their bullshit. The other thing is that everybody should look out for is these scammers have either a spoken agreement or an unspoken agreement that they're going to platform each other.
Yes, she is.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Word.
They either have an actual agreement or an implied agreement that they're going to platform each other and finesse all of us. Godly says that's facts. I thought only I noticed that, Malika. Bro. After I told you guys an experience that I actually had firsthand with one of these current scammers that y'all still got on here, and some of y'all, I know it mainly is because you guys are trolling, but you guys still go to their lives. So y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I got blocked because I spoke about my firsthand experience.
Yeah, I was on that live last night too.
So
That's why I was like, I got to set the reminder for Mondays for some reason. I don't know why I missed that, but I was on that live
but
last
here's
night.
what's funny. The star case of that same live you were on, they were on my live last night after class.
Okay.
They were on my live and we were asking questions about how that other liar is happening. So let me tell you guys about my personal experience that got me blocked. There's somebody that is baffling people with their bullshit, okay? Trying to give the impression that they successfully filed, and it implies that they won a 42 USC 1983 case.
But that's why I'm reluctant to come up on that panel sometimes, because I never request. I'm always invited to come up on that panel because I already know that whatever I say is getting sold for $25
But they're
a
using
head.
the fact that you're there in the chat, and especially if you get up on the panel, to show that you are supporting the message that comes out of that room. And that is why before I got blocked, I decided to never go back into that room at all, whether I'm blocked or not. I am not going back in there because I don't want anyone to associate Malika's energy, presence, articulation of any kind with what's coming out of that room or those types of rooms. So they lied saying that they finally got their 42 USC 1983 case right. And let me tell you guys why that's a red flag. They said they tried it eight times and failed, and then they got it right the 9th time. Let me tell you why that's bullshit. Because
You mean
if
7
your
times not a
shit,
charm?
what's that?
You mean the 7th time wasn't a charm?
Right. In that case, they got to the 9th allegedly. But guess what? What do courts do, guys? What do courts do when you file bullshit even once? What do they typically do?
Dismiss
With
prejudice.
And so how you get into the 9th time? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody please say, Malika, I can explain. I can explain how they got there for the 9th time or even the 5th time.
Even
That's right, names. They get called a vexatious litigant. Okay? They block your cases with what? With what? They block you from filing with what? I'm not hearing you guys.
Prejudice.
Prejudice. Can somebody tell me how you're even going to get to the 5th time? If you can be casted as a vexatious litigant, and most times if it's bullshit, even the first time, they will tell you that you cannot refile this same type of case with the same defendants under the same counts. Somebody want to explain? Why would we be in share rooms, share platforms with these people? Here's another red flag. When you block a motherfucker or they don't like you and they go create another account so that they could come into your lives, so they could still come on your page. Isn't that a form of stalking? You guys tell me. And correctly says, if you don't know a process or it doesn't sit right with your gut, don't do it. Absolutely, Ang. Great advice. Even if it's me, if it doesn't sit well with you and it's like, I don't really get this, don't do it. Especially if I can't clarify it or I get angry when you ask a question for clarification. You just listening slow. They want you, they want you to just believe them. And they'll even say, trust me. Isn't that, how many times have you guys actually heard me say, just trust me? Have you guys heard, how many times have you heard me say that?
Ew, never. That's gross.
Why would it?
It was that one time when, no, I'm joking. I'm just kidding.
Maybe I
Never.
said it one time.
Never. Not that I can recall. I don't remember you like, look, trust me, bro. Just trust me, try it. Like it was never, you know what I mean? Everybody does it here. Just inhale. No, you didn't do that. You didn't do that.
You always say if you want to. That's on you.
But always go double check, triple check.
Double
Word.
check. Yeah.
I look, when I went to research the word nice, who thinks that that's crazy? Be honest. Who's been using nice all their life? Be honest. Who's been using nice all their life?
Me. And they always are underlined the definition of something.
And you never went to look it up, right? You never went to look that word up. You never went to look it up. Most of us use words and we never. So if I'm going to research words I've been using my whole life, why would I get on these TikTok streets and just turn my brain off? Like, I'm not going to research nothing that fool just said. I didn't know what nice meant, and I've been using it all my life, and I went to look it up. But you talking fast on the internet, I'm just going to let your bullshit seep into my mind, seep into my brain. I'm going to let it regurgitate out of my mouth without any guard, without any question, without any further investigation. What are we saying about ourselves?
That most people are stuck in what is called a believer mindset. Not talking about believers specifically. I don't want anybody spiritually offended, but when you don't go and verify,
You're
just
saying in
going off
general,
of belief.
someone who just believes.
Correct. That's what I mean.
I did my best to raise children that would never just believe even their parents. And that's why that story that I shared when we first started teaching our children to cook, and I told them not to wash the cast iron pans, and Sonny went to look up. Sonny was like, why mom don't want us to wash the pans? Sonny went right on the internet. Mom, you cannot, you cannot wash, I'm not saying that the pans cannot be washed. You ain't gonna ruin my pans by washing them. Let me be clear. you three, y'all can't wash the pans. The pans can be washed. That was not what I was saying, but I was so proud of her because she's like, what is my mom talking about? She went to research. I'm suggesting y'all think that's funny. Sonny came in the kitchen like, actually, mom.
That is
Anybody with cast iron know what I'm talking about.
See, that's so cool. I know when I had those actually moments, it was, boy, stop back talking me. That's what I got.
I told y'all I got taken to the library.
Wow.
My dad was like, she asked 3 questions today. We going to the library.
Word.
This is why I didn't raise my kids to just believe me. And this is why I didn't create this community to just believe me.
Word.
We want to have a nation of thinkers. Because that's what makes us powerful and dangerous.
Amen.
Who wants to be powerful and dangerous to tyranny?
Me.
I thought that's how I showed up.
That is true. That's why people are attracted to this community.
Right?
Nobody here is going to tell you, trust me, bro. We're going to leave that bullshit to the attorneys and the other internet scammers.
Word.
There's no reason to even have belief
In something that's cookie cutter, right?
but in nothing. There's no reason. I mean,
I'm sorry, I thought you were
in
talking about
nothing
yours.
pertaining to the law, there might be other, it's like, I believe I left my glasses next to my bed. I believe I left my keys in the car. I mean, you could believe those things, but when it comes to the law, just like there's no to each his own, there is no need for trust me, bro.
So you're saying believe is good as a means or a tool for recollection.
Yeah,
not as something as if it is the authority on something, right?
Correct. That's very accurate. Thank you for that articulation.
Gratitude, sis.
You must have gotten some sleep last night. Did you see what Nana said in the chat?
Yeah, but I was up for 2 days before that, and so those moments of denying neurodivergence for all this time, it's just like, fuck it, I'll just accept it. Whatever this energy is, cool, and I'll just keep using it for good. Dr. Banner couldn't stop being a Hulk, so yeah.
I can relate, because I will say, when I was studying prior to even creating the Friends-in-Law group on Facebook in 2018,
yes,
I would have 3-4 o'clock in the morning study sessions with myself.
Yeah,
and I would get Adam going, what are you doing? I'm working on something.
Lotus kept telling me, oh, why are you still up? You're supposed to be laying down.
I'm working on something. You the one that gotta go to work. Go to sleep.
Lotus was like, put the phones down, close your eyes. I'm not lying. I'm serious. I'm telling you, honest blogs, true story.
When I was building my very first website in 2009, we were living in our mansion house, and we had a walk-in closet that I could fit a whole desk in.
Oh, that's dope.
So that's how I isolated myself. Even though we had an office in the house, there was like an office right by the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I put a desk inside the back of our walk-in closet in the master bedroom, and I made that my office so I could focus attention. Okay, because the real office was by the front door, so you got to see everybody going in and out. It had a glass French door, so we had to put blinds. I was like, I'm going to go in the back of the closet, and I'm going to build my website. And I remember being in there one day, and apparently my family came over and took my family in the house out to dinner, and they didn't even tell me.
Wow.
My sister's laughing.
They left you alone.
They didn't.
Because they already knew.
Yeah.
But they didn't bring me any food either.
Oh, that sucks. That part sucks.
She's laughing right here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, that sucks, Keisha. What's going on, man?
Now she's in denial. I was like, why didn't y'all at least, like, tell me? Like, I might have wanted to come.
Hey, look, don't feel bad. I mean, because right? A little more detail, but I'll give the surface. When life was life at a certain point in time in my life, you know what I mean? And the motel was the motel, for about 15 months. Yeah, you already know where I was at. I was in that motel bathroom. Going live, doing y'all sessions. Y'all wouldn't know that, but hey, gotta study. Not going to sleep. Still supposed to know I'm going to sleep. Been up 2-3 days.
So what happens when somebody gotta go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? Hassan's like, hold on.
Let me grab my tray. And my tray, the little tray with the little soft bean bag on the bottom of it that you sit in your lap. Yep. Had that on the sink. Y'all don't know. Some of y'all got success stories, and I was sitting on the toilet or next to it. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to make y'all laugh either. I'm just being straight up.
I believe you. From what I've experienced, I believe you. But much respect to you, because you still got it done.
It's fine. Gratitude.
So we got people who talk fast. Anything about your birth certificate, okay, at all, unless they're talking about a family law case. And even in those cases, It might be the children's birth certificate in question, or unless it says something about adoption. Okay, that's it. TikTok is suppressing a video I made about that a few days ago. It
That
has like
sucks.
75 views. It's the video where you see a red flag and I put birth certificate and I
Because
put the red flag.
yeah, yeah.
Need you guys to go share the hell out of that video.
You know what's funny? Since you're on talking about banning things or they blocking things, like I noticed, we just noticed like Lotus had posted a juice that she makes that's awesome that she does like this herbal fusion with. It's got 0 views. I know you're like, well, hold on, I saw online. You should go look at it. But it's not. I drank it. I like it when she makes it. So I'm already giving my reviews or whatever. But to see that it's not getting pushed, and I recognize like, what's your caption say? And when she read it, I was like, oh, you said herbs.
You can't say herbs.
Herbs and holistic wealth and health is being associated with as you're promoting not to be vaccinated.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, word.
Oh, wow.
Wow. No.
Yes.
So just
Say
say
something like
juice.
broccoli.
Just say juice or
Mm,
tea.
do you remember that newscast? And I had to share it with Lotus. Remember the newscast? And who shared it with me? Was it, I don't know if it was Tice or Rafiki, maybe. It was one of you guys shared it with me on TikTok. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's Rafiki. And I looked at it, right? I was like, hold on, he stitched it. And I was like, let me go to the original video. And as I listened to it again, and my observation is, okay, I know the news is a tool for propaganda. And every newscast, it was just talking about how the unvaccinated are the reason that it was just, let's just demonize
Oh
them.
yeah,
right?
and then
Right?
now everything came out to be a lie. Fauci is pleading the fifth,
Correct.
and people who took the advice are feeling some type of way.
Yeah, but 5 years ago, everybody was trying to find the blueprints for Hitler's gas chambers for the unvaccinated because it was the new Holocaust now. But
Yeah,
nobody,
Well,
they was trying to get rid of us. They was so
I don't
against
think
us.
they were. I don't think they were trying to get rid of us. They were
Segregate.
trying to get rid of the others who got the vax because that's what it's for,
Yeah,
right?
trying to get the
What they were
population
trying
down to
to do
500
to
million.
us was embarrass us and marginalize us, right? And basically say you can't sit with us. And
Yeah,
here we are going, y'all threatening me with a good time?
right.
Because F all of you guys. Because guess what we don't want to hear now? We don't want to hear none of your problems. We don't want to hear my elbow, my heart, my lungs, my stomach. We don't want to hear none of that. My brain is swelling. I don't know if some of y'all have a limit to your compassion. I don't know if it's like infinite because you feel like, what is it? I'm an empath. I'm not an empath. Malika is empathetic, but I am not an empath to the point where you could just tell me whatever and I don't have any boundaries. Okay? I have boundaries. I have family members that I do not speak with. And I'm talking about immediate family members that I do not deal with at all in no kind of way. Because I'm not going to ever allow the fact that we share a common past to be why I continue to accept your bullshit into the future. Can anyone relate?
Yes.
I would cut anybody off. I actually had a conversation with my own mom the other day where we had a hypothetical question asked.
You said your own mama?
Yeah, I was talking to my mom. And
Okay.
she we had a hypothetical question going on, right? Y'all want to know what the question is?
Yes.
The question is it was a hypothetical question from my sister's firsthand view. She said, Keisha said, if I were marrying a guy that was wealthy and I met him and very quickly he wanted to get married And then I found out I was pregnant by my ex. So it's not this guy's baby.
That
Okay.
shit happen in the hood every day. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Keisha's question was, if that was the situation, and she didn't tell the new guy, the new wealthy guy, would either of us tell the guy, right? That it's
I
not
mean-
his baby.
I
Wait,
mean,
wait, 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 wait,
Oh,
wait,
okay.
wait, wait.
Go ahead.
So the reason she's asking us is because, well, she's asking me because of course I would be her sister, right? In the situation.
Correct.
She's asking
Correct.
my mom because of course that would be her mom in the situation. So the way that I answered the situation, if you guys want to know, y'all want to know how I answered?
I think I got an idea, but go ahead, tell us.
She's laughing. So, okay, she said, let y'all tell me what y'all think my answer was. And then I'll actually tell you my answer.
Okay. I just don't see you being dishonest, Malika. So I can't see you saying sleep with the new guy real quick and just kind of throw off the gestational math, right? So I'm thinking you said to be honest, or maybe you said this is gonna be hard if you said this. Don't mention it.
Okay.
I yield.
The question was, my sister's giving a hypothetical situation. She meets a guy, she's pregnant, but she doesn't know. The guy falls in love with her, he's wealthy, and he says, marry me. She says yes. And now she's stuck having to figure out if she's going to tell this guy that she is pregnant, but it's not his baby, or if she would keep it a secret. She asked, if me as her sister, what would I do? Then she asked my mom, as her mother, what would she do?
Oh, in terms of telling something to the guy.
Well, yeah, would we tell the guy?
To that guy, you ain't saying
Right?
nothing.
And
That's
if
just
we, or what would we do? Period. What would we do? Period. What would we do? What would we say? Would we tell a guy? Would we not tell a guy? Okay. Some people here are saying, I said I'm telling.
I don't know. I got you more. Sorry, Keish. I got you more browbeating Keish to tell him.
I think
Honestly.
Hassan actually knows me.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, girl, you better don't you do that to him. And this and what if it was you? Put yourself in what if it was you?
He said, I would browbeat you.
Yeah.
I would stay on top of you to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see. More to come says, I'm telling. It's a what? It's a what place? It's a my place. Okay. My name, Bennett, and I. No, not.
Yeah, it's not my place. She's saying it's not my place, right? Or it is my place, not, I guess.
So
I'm not telling.
Exactly.
Okay. You're not telling as it like you're the one in like getting ready to marry the guy. You're not telling because you're the sister. You're not telling because you're the mom. Which position are you not telling?
I'm not telling because I'm the sister.
Okay. So let me tell y'all, I love you guys' guesses, as what I said. So I told her, I'm not going to tell him. I am going to tell you, you should tell him. And if you don't tell him, I'm going to stop talking to you, sister. I'm going to stop talking to you. I want the man to be like, wow, you were so close to your sister. How come you stop talking to her? Mm-hmm. How come, Keisha? How come I stopped? So that Keisha says she's gonna tell him I'm jealous.
Jesus Christ. That is horrible.
Yeah.
That is horrible, Keisha.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
telling her I'm gonna stop talking to you if you don't tell him. I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna let him guess why your sister that was like this with you cut your ass off because he's going to ask. Okay? He gonna ask. And I want you to be like, she's jealous. Of what? Now you got to explain that. You think he's gonna believe you? He could believe you. So we get into the discussion after that hypothetical question of why I wouldn't cut my sister off. I'm like, I would cut any lying ass off. So my mom's like, oh, well, I wouldn't cut her off. And I also wouldn't tell the guy because I'm not going to disown my child. Malika will disown her child. I'm telling y'all right now. And my mom was telling me that she disagrees, that I would not disown my child. And then she gives another hypothetical. Like, let's say they unalive somebody. I was like, that shit better be self-defense. It better be self-defense. It better be self-defense. And you got to convince me. I don't have a problem with cutting anybody off because I have principles. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm just telling you I'm going to do it.
Word.
We don't talk because she's a sovereign citizen, really?
Wow.
Very funny. We can do that. We can. Your sister, we don't talk because she's a sovereign citizen. That is too funny. I love you guys.
That is hilarious, though.
Keon says that's why we don't talk now. Why did you stop? Right. That's a great question, right? Why did your sister, who was all into everything, now the baby's here, she's not coming around? That's a great question, bro. And don't let the husband call Malika. Don't let him call me.
That's such a dangerous situation because once people find stuff like that out, that's when they start getting that loaded, some pew pew. And then
you know
everyone
it's
got
gonna
to come
come
up
out.
with a lie.
You know it's gonna come out. Okay. But let's get back to our newbie Tuesday. I'm glad you guys diverged a little bit on that. Because I will cut you off. This is the reason why I walk away from rooms easy. I am not going to allow, this is why some of you guys might have been a witness when I was on oh man, I forgot the girl's name. Freedom, if you're still in here, what was her name? Where the idiots over there with the exclusive equity tried to say I was talking about her when I don't even know her, and something about Michi Slay. And I get on somebody else's panel with her, and I wasn't paying attention because it was fires going on and we were heading home and we had to stop at the store and all types of stuff. So even though I was on the panel, I had it turned down. And I just want to take a minute here to say a lot of times I might be on in y'all's live and I just can't listen. So y'all might be talking to me, asking me a question. Y'all might see me even tapping out the screen, but trust me, I'm tapping out the screen like this. Yeah. Okay. Put that one over there. And I'm just tapping. Okay. So just because you see me tapping or you see me on the panel, I'm not always mentally present. So she was asking me clarifying questions because, she heard this rumor of me talking about her. I didn't know. But the live I was on had it so that it records your section of the live while you're on. So since I missed the live, like being active, but I was on the panel, when I actually got home, I re-listened to it. And after I listened to the first 5 minutes, like, oh shit, she was talking to me. She was like asking me a question. It's about Michi Slay. I immediately was like, go to this girl's page. Hey, I saw you was asking me a question I couldn't answer while we were on live, but let me answer you right now because you mentioned Michi Slay, okay? So then she went live and I got on it. I got on her panel. We were able to clarify everything. It was great. But what happened is I had to cut that guy, Michi Slay, off. Why did I have to cut him off? And I cut him off cold turkey. I cut him off with no explanation because I didn't owe him one. Because what I found out is that he was using our relationship. Now, let me just be clear because I told her the same thing. Some of you guys don't know who this guy is. It's fine. But I just want to say he was always very brotherly to me. He was never disrespectful to me. But the reason why is because he was using the fact that I was his friend to prey on other women. He was using the fact that I was his friend to validate some of his sovereign citizen bullshit, like selling people trusts for $2,500 hairs. He was using my relationship to be like, look, look how smart and intelligent she is. She's been married for 20 years and blah, blah, blah. And this is my friend. And then you use that. I'm not going to allow nobody to leverage my good name to do any of their nefarious things. It's just not going to happen with my knowledge. So when I got women who came to me and was like, that's your friend? Let me tell you how he's grooming young women. Let me tell you how he's pimping people. I lost it. They were still talking and I was blocking. Block, 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 block. Yes, very scandalous. Because while they're talking, not just blocking, I'm researching. I'm pulling up his mug shots. I'm pulling up his arrests. I'm seeing the charges. Block. I'm verifying what they're telling me. Okay? And I even told her the worst part was I sent him one of my citrus plant clippings. I want that shit back. Because he don't even have a place to plant it. He was using whoever's address that I sent it to. He was using that woman. He got into a fight with their 13-year-old. I'm not even going to get into all of the nonsense. I'm just telling y'all, I will cut you off. When I found out Tamika Lindell Thorpe paths to freedom, that we call paths to prison, she was also using my good name, also using the fact that she was part of the lawful living community right there, the friends-in-law on Facebook. Her posts are still in there. She ain't in there, but her posts are still in there. The ones that I like because she said, I'm going to start teaching now. I was like, shit, yes. Right, Hassan? Are you going to start teaching? Yes.
Word.
Let's promote it. You got your website? Great. Put it up on a banner. Because that's what I do. But I find out you're using me, you're gone. So Tameka, when she had her class, since she was in my group, invited me to be one of the speakers. So of course I'm going to go support. Y'all already know your girl, right? Y'all already know. This is 8 years ago. She said, I want you to come on. I want you to teach this part. What do you want to charge me? At the time, I wasn't making any hard charges. So I said, you know what? I did all my classes for donation. I did all my consultations for donation. So I'm going to be featured on your course for the same donation. Why? Because my God always got me. Do y'all understand? My God always got me. I don't have to tell you, give me $2,000. I don't have to do that. The $2,000 is going to come. Okay. So I said, I'm going to do it for donation. So during the section I was teaching, she would just encourage people, make sure if you guys are enjoying this information, you donate to the speaker, right? Same thing I did when I had guest speakers on my class. I was like, you don't have to tell me how much money you're getting, but everybody can donate. Because if I'm doing my classes for donation, why would I give you a hard charge, right? I'm doing it all for donation. If you are getting value, give value in return. If you don't, it's okay, because I'm good. So when I realized that she was actually scamming people, using the fact that I was featured on her class and she was part of my community, she finessed some people that are right here. Let me look at the names. At least one person that's right here for $1,500. How do I know? Because y'all started calling me like, hey, what's up, your girls? I'm like, what happened? She charged people $1,500 for a mortgage class because she was trying to take my mortgage class and like download it into her brain so that she could flip it and redo it for $1,500 a seat. And some of y'all actually got caught up in that and paid her $1,500. But guess what? She never showed up. She never came. She postponed it. She said somebody passed in her family. I was like, again?
Not
that was the
grandma
last
again.
excuse. I would have done the class and read right off of your thing. Keisha said she would have done the class and read the transcript right off line by line. They won't even know. They probably wouldn't know. That's why we have Newbie Tuesdays.
Word.
Because some people would know. So when she actually sent me some clients too. I just want to let y'all know. Malika will bite the hand that feeds her. I will bite you if I find out that you're a scammer. I don't care how much you gave me. I'm gonna okay?
Word.
She sent me clients, and here's what's funny. I got them wins because she couldn't. Shout out to Unnecessary Names, aka Thaddeus. Okay. Thaddeus was a referral from Temecca. And when he came, him and his wife told me what she was doing over there. At first, I didn't say anything because I'm like, I just met these people. I'm not gonna say anything. She did the right thing by sending them to me. But when we got their win, I was like, well, let me tell y'all now, okay, about this crazy woman that sent y'all to me. Let me tell you. So I went on to IG and I made a post. I tagged her and I said, y'all still following this scammer? She was so triggered that she had the nerve to say, oh, so when I paid you to come talk on my class, I was scamming? Yes, yes, you were. And then you had me in there like a dumbass. Yes, you were. Yes, you were scamming. Yeah. Do you know she deleted her comment, but not before I took a screenshot? Was I scamming when yes, you were scamming when you gave that to me. Yes. When you promoted me for your class and I got the donations, you were scamming. Of course, she never sent me any more clients after that.
Word.
I will bite the hand because I don't need you. And I definitely don't need you in my life trying to make it seem like you made me. It's not going to happen. Empress of exclusive equity, out all these fools. And not just by calling out their names, but by highlighting what they are doing to finesse people, the very words they use. We have to keep showing people how those words that they're using and the way that they're delivering their information, because she's another fast talker, isn't she? Is she not another fast talker, my people? Trusts and shit. Record status. She was the one trying to tell people that she did a bill of exchange to get a car.
Yeah, she was talking about helicopters and people coming after her, like they was trying to get her. I was
They
like,
need
wow.
to come get her ass. They need to come get her. I hope they got her. Okay. That's right. Vibe Vault knows what I'm talking about. I'm glad when people go, who? Because that means that our exposing is working. It means that you guys are starting to develop those ears of discernment. I'm not talking about people who make honest mistakes. I'm talking about people who are intentionally scamming you. They will never say, you know what? I may have interpreted that incorrectly. This is people who you give them $700 for consultations and they do not show up.
Jesus Christ.
And we have things like that this fool has done on recording. Or they sell you someone else's stuff, or they put Malika's entire address on her document that you stole from her, and you didn't even have the audacity or the goodwill to at least move it. You just lucky I don't live there no more. Yes, living and looking over their shoulders. 9 is like, what? Yes, yes, yeah. Look, there is a woman who her name is Cora B. She's on TikTok, Cora B Show. When that whole situation with Temeka went down, she did a series, a 12-part series on YouTube. And what's bad is that she's not popular enough, or at least she wasn't at the time, to get a lot of people to watch that series. Okay. But she told everybody what happened. And I realized in that situation, listen to me very carefully. That girl Temeka tried to make me in Cora's position. She came to me first and said, "Oh, I'm going on tour. I'm going to be talking about this and that. Do you want to tour with me?" I told her I was busy. And then I blocked her. So because I told her I was unavailable and blocked her, she went to the next person in line, which was Cora. So when Cora is telling her story, I was like, what month was that? What day? Oh, shit. Oh, so she called you when I turned her down. She made you her patsy because I turned her down. And I immediately contacted Cora and we had a nice conversation on the phone, a real nice one. Real nice conversation on the phone. Because she scammed her too. And then when she caught on to her scam, when Cora caught on to Temeka's scam, Temeka called CPS on Cora and made a false report and did not care. Okay?
What, yo? What, yo? Hey, yo. What?
Yep. Isn't that diabolical? Look, y'all look at y'all amazed. Y'all don't even know what goes down.
Hey.
This is
Thank
why
you,
I'm
Mom.
just gonna not come to your scamming ass room. I'm not gonna come in there. I'm not gonna go there for no reason. I'm not gonna go there to spy. I'm not gonna make a fake account to come in there and spy. You know what's funny? Sometimes because they don't know that I have legitimate other accounts here. So I have a faceless account for my homesteading page. And because I also have this lawful living page, sometimes they drop me into y'all's law conversations on my homesteading page. And they don't know that's Malika's page. So they didn't block that page. So I could come into their lives if I gave a fuck and spy from my homesteading page. Sometimes I'll be like, why am I seeing this person? I'm like, what Freedom doing in there on the panel? And then I'm like, what page am I seeing this on? I don't think I'm on my law page. No, I'm not on my law page. I'm on my homesteading page, which they did not block because they don't know it's me. And I'm still not gonna be in there. I'm still not coming. I don't want to spy. I don't want to be associated with it in any way, shape, or form.
I've been seeing a lot of when uh Freedom is on these panels, Nine or Godly. They're usually using the Socratic method.
And what is that? Tell us what the Socratic method is, bro.
They're usually asking questions about what these people are asserting on these panels. And when they start giving their reasoning, then they go into what I think be the governing framework of the issue at hand.
Ain't nobody listening,
And
bro. How do I get this bill of exchange to pay off my T-Mobile phone bill? If you don't know, Hassan, okay?
Jesus Christ.
Add credit to cash.
They're gonna just say, "Oh, you just don't know. You should just said you don't know." I'm looking for somebody who knows how to show. Then I did it the ninth.
I know she'll come back, y'all. I just see let me see, hold on 2 seconds in continuing. Okay, Malika's back now. Let's see. It looks like she's back.
Said the recording stopped.
Okay, she'll just have to restart the recording. I think she's gonna come back again. I think she just fell off again. But in the meantime, while Malika is reestablishing her connection, let's just briefly check real quick in the participants area. Okay, no one has their hand up yet. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's continue the conversation, y'all. So in light of what we are experiencing, in light of what we are seeing, right? And maybe all of you aren't on TikTok. Maybe you don't, you're not on social media. You're just limiting it to just being on lawful living when it comes to a social experience. However, if you were to explore in general,
Hello?
yes, Tristan, yes. You there, sis? Your mic is open. All right, maybe that was a mistake, but I heard you're saying. So with that being said, if you guys were to journey in these TikTok streets, because that's where a lot of the lives are that we're observing. Haven't really been on Instagram too much to observe lives. For some reason, it just seems like the energy for lives is there on TikTok prominently for our experience, but I'm pretty sure people are still going live on Instagram too. But what you'll see is if you guys were to just stick around in some of these lives where they're having these quote unquote jurisprudence conversations, I'll call it for right now. When they're having these conversations, you get to hear how they conceptualize the.
This is gonna be a good
space.
snippet.
You said it's going to be a what you're saying? Oh, that might have been another mistake. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, what I think is if you guys are online and you go to see these things, you go on these TikToks and you listen long enough, just sit there. Give yourself a good half an hour. Just sit there. I'm sure you're going to hear some things that's going to make you go, whoa, hold on. What they say? What? If you are strong enough to not be hypnotized by what may come across that from maybe some of your previous studies or your previous come acrossings or of particular word combinations, forms, or information in this law space. So you may hear something that's like, oh, why are they talking about that in lawful living? And then they may say something else right behind it that you like, hold on, that's a red flag. Like that's one of the red flags that was just being discussed in class the other day. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I think when you guys are strong enough or you think you're strong enough, go on TikTok and just watch. Just watch some of these other people, right? Yeah, I know she probably had a outage out there. So yeah, because she's off the live too. Yeah, she probably had an outage. So all right, great. Y'all let Shishi me in because I was about to click that button. So good. All right. So with that being said, who here is observing these things on TikTok? Who's observing these red flags? Put a one in the chat or unmute your mic, speak up. And what are those things you're experiencing?
Hey, I want to make a red flag that says awful and a green flag that says lawful.
That's dope, Sarah. Run with that. That's a hot idea.
I think we need that. The burr, burr, burr.
Yo, that is hilarious. That
It's
is so,
McGarvey.
that is hilarious. I don't know where Garvey is. That's right. McGarvey's not here today. It's all good. All right. So, who else? What else are you experiencing? Now, let me check the chat here too. Right. What do you guys? What do you guys?
I noticed that there's someone that I was looking at before I got to lawful living who's saying correcting your status is how you perform in court. And it's a misconception of what really goes down in court as opposed to correcting your status. So I find that very confusing and conflicting.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And what you said there, I like to highlight. Um, you being given some non-contemplated process. And when I say non-contemplated, I mean it's not within the governing framework of any court system, right? And I get it too, because some people could be like, well, there was at one point of time where it was new. There was no precedent set. And now we could set newer precedent and things of that nature. That's okay, cool. That means you are one who is preparing for the appellate circuit then. That's what it sounds like you're into, right? That's what that sounds like to me. Right? There you go, man. So that's why, those of you that even gotten, you've been in the session with me, or you've been to some of these free classes that we do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and we'll say straight up to you, prepare yourself for 12 rounds. Don't expect it to be over in the first round or three. All right. So just using a boxing analogy, right? So allow yourself to be ready for the long haul. And I know that's easier said than done because of the anxiety you're feeling, the nuisance you're feeling, the loss of sleep you're experiencing, and other results of the emotional distress of court, because you haven't been socially engineered to embrace jurisprudence and not fear the police and not fear attorneys and what someone wearing a black robe with a gavel can do. You've been socially engineered to do the reverse. You've been socially engineered to fear it, to obey it, to not question it. And if you want to question it, question it through an attorney. Right? Right? Question it through an attorney. And all of that is tough. All of that is tough because I'm pretty sure what most of y'all are hearing is, like when it was promoting that whole it's the unvaccinated that's the issue, right? Stop screaming, man. I forgot my point. He's screaming so much and so loud. I don't know if y'all can even hear him. Right? Let me see. What was my point at? What was I saying even before the whole thing? Because I wanted to point out how they was trying to blame it on something else. But either way, the point that I was making, right? How many of y'all experiencing these awful red flags out there in these internet streets, these TikTok streets? How many of you are experiencing it?
I'm not experiencing them anymore, but I do come across them from now and then, and I just scroll past.
You said like who? You said chauvinist?
No, I said I do come across them from now and then, but I just scroll past them. Now you know what to look for, like the red flags or yeah, that's not going to get me where I need to be at. So you keep going.
Right. Okay, cool. Cool in the game. Who else? Who else wants to speak up? Even if it's not your direct experience. Who else? Who else wants to speak up about, even if it didn't directly happen to you as an experience, but maybe you see it being propagated out there, it being shared as the thing to do. Right? Let's see. Let's check this chat here. That's in your head all the time. Record preservation. Yeah, man. That's that appellate thing, right? Tamaya says she's seen a few people start turning and now want to speak about court rules and procedures. But just last month, they were saying tender of payment. And again, as it was predicted, and if y'all don't remember, or if you do remember, please let me know. But I predicted that that's what was going to happen. I said, what you guys are going to start seeing that happens out there, slowly but surely, you're going to tell that the people who were passionate about just any remedial process that they thought would help. And when I'm using the term remedial, I'm saying something that's descended from remedy, right? Which means that you can grab it from, like, you get an orange which has descended from an orange tree, then you would use a remedial process. But the remedial processes that they were instituting and sharing online was exactly what Tamaya pointed out in her comment in the chat here, guys. They were asserting the tender of payment and all these because, again, they don't know.
Also notice too, when lawful living is on a topic, a lot of other people use it in their algorithm as to conceptually talk about it as well. And I find it very strange.
I mean, but that's it's got to happen that way because we got the juice. I'm not bragging, but we got the high pressure.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying? We got the high pressure. In other words, if y'all was to look at I don't know if y'all ever heard the term capillary reactance, right? But let me see if I can put it in the chat a certain way. But I need y'all to imagine a circle when I type this, right? So in capillary reactance, what you have here is low pressure chasing. You got low pressure chasing high pressure chasing low pressure, right? Now, let me get a little nerdy real quick, a little thermodynamic nerdy, okay? Low pressure. Okay, boom, there it is in the chat. Low pressure chasing high pressure chasing low pressure. When people go to put in new, like, systems so that you can be cool in the summertime, like you're doing now, right, with your central AC, and warm in the wintertime, like you're doing with your central heat, what they're using is a refrigerant to be able to pull heat from specific ambience, rooms, areas, and dump that heat somewhere else, right? Quote unquote, in the summertime, your condenser unit, right? So anyway, with that being said, in order for that flow of refrigerant to take place, there is a process of that's called brazing, right? You're using temperatures anywhere between 800 to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit to be able to braze pipe, copper pipe, so that you can be able to make a hermetic system, a closed system, so that refrigerant can do what it does, moves by the compressor, right? In the condenser unit. The point that I'm making, when it comes to that, in HVAC, oh God, I'm having a neurodivergent brain fart right now because I was on it and then I saw something else and took my mind off of it. Jesus Christ.
You were talking about algorithms in another sense.
High pressure, chasing low pressure, chasing high pressure. Capillary reactance. We are the high pressure. The reason we're the high pressure is because we are saying what needs to be said in courts while not at the same time siding with the attorneys in the way that those that are selling processes and those that don't know may imagine. So they may imagine that, oh, well, that's because they got attorneys and they got that going on. That's not what it is. It's the spirit of honesty. It's the spirit of love. That's actually what people, they're saying it. And they know it to be true because especially since they have power tools too, may not be, programmed like, how we do over here. However, they want to fact check what we're saying. And when it comes back solid, of course they're going to have lives now that are around that. Why? Because they're low pressure. chasing high pressure while we're chasing low pressure. But it's in a loop. It's a loop feed. That's how you're able to get the pipe to braze when you put an oxyacetylene torch to that 8515 or 95.5 or 9510 alloy that you use to be able to melt so you can close that system. Forgive me for being nerdy on HVAC real quick, but I wanted to explain to you capillary reactance. Gratitude. I wanted to explain to you. You said on the left, right, babe? Okay, capillary reactance. So that's what's going to happen. Because at one point in time, we was low pressure. Period. That high pressure pocket is where it's at. Because everything else is being moved by the high pressure pocket, whether they like it or not. Because truth ain't never been shut up. And wherever truth comes out, that's where people are going to go. Whether they become a member or they just glean it like Ruth after we've, sent all our reapers to the threshing floor. Pardon me for pontificating about on my soapbox. Who wants to add their wisdom? Come on, y'all. Questions, comments, suggestions. Who wants to add their wisdom to what's being said?
I just want to say subscribing to some of those guru abuse, words and things of that nature is the same as reaching out to a lawyer or attorney and not even understanding why you would need an attorney for the situation at hand. So you still got to start with phase one of understanding everything first.
Absolutely. And what I think people get here, and it I'm going to say it because if I don't, I'm going to beat myself up about it. So don't. I know I shouldn't, but I got to say it. So, what'd you just say, Keelan? Again, say it one more time. Make sure I got it.
I was saying subscribing to some of those quote unquote processes that they preach out there is the equivalence of reaching out to a lawyer or attorney outside of oneself to handle those situations in that space and not knowing why they're even reaching out for that assistance.
Correct. And when they come to lawful living, what helps them, but at the same time, probably stutter steps them, is the fact that they're met with straight up front honesty and love. But the honesty is because love has happened first inside the ones that are here and those of us that are assisting. You know what I'm saying? Um, and maybe that love may not be expressed like you like it. You know what I mean? That's a possibility. Maybe Brother Hassan doesn't say things like you would like to hear it, even though it's true. You know what I'm saying? And true in terms of making sure you guys have what you need so that you can win, instead of us just confirming your biases. Okay, and I do think that sometimes when something seems too good to be true, our experience in life has told us that it is. It's just that when people come to lawful living, they use that same mindset. Oh, this is too good to be true. Then they leave. They might go, do some other things, I guess, or go to some other communities. Maybe a year or two will pass, and then they'll come right back and be like, "Hey, I get it now. Y'all was right. I went down all these other paths that was super wrong, and now I get that whole time y'all was really giving me the game straight out." And that done happened a couple times to me and Malika. So it seems like the ultimate battle isn't who's sharing the information. The ultimate battle is who's receiving the information and can discern what's useful for their particular issue and what isn't useful for their particular issue. Okay? We got that, guys?
Agreed.
I got it.
Got it.
More questions, comments, and or suggestions? I know we're at 2 minutes, right? And so basically class will be over, but we can give a little grace of overtime, I trust. right? I don't think Malika's made it back yet. Plus, I'll call and check on her once after this class is complete. Just hope trust the phone's still working, right? Um, however, with that being said, right, guys, um, I trust that what develops in each and every one of us here is the fact that we just want to calmly and deliberately declare the truth within ourselves and then have that overflow, pour out, radiate even, right? Because not only is it a liquid, but it may have an aroma, right? That's delicious, right? That truth, right? Um, and, and we're able to affect those around us some way, shape, or form. And we already know that infection doesn't happen with browbeating. Hey, look, you got to do this, and you need to hold on. Is my wagger? Is my finger wagging enough? In trying to browbeat you into getting this, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't work. I'm pretty sure we all been there. We've all been told, well, let's see what you get first, and then when you show me your results, then I'll see, I'll believe you. Like, you already know that's not helpful for your journey and you preserving yourself, and that's tough too. You know what I mean? Because we're grown. We're late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? And some of us still have to say to ourselves at times, I don't know. However, I'm going to find out because I'm going to be the best knower I can be on that topic because I don't know. Why? Because I came into a community that I needed help because I didn't know. Hold on, there's a pattern. It seems like the not knowing keeps moving me places. And those places seem to be forward after you've come in contact with lawful living. The eviction coach, off duty alibi. You get to progress in your own mind and start to mitigate some of that anxiety, some of that emotional distress that you probably already had from childhood.
I think I could speak on that, Hassan, too, because right now, if I would have somebody would a couple years ago, if I would have had 23,000 in arrears over my head, I would have been stressed. And now I'm able to sit there and just calmly approach it. Like you see me say in the chat, preserve the record, keep moving forward, and I'm not even worried about it.
Exactly. And I see you guys are sharing. Yes, gratitude. I think that's Liv sharing your all access code, which means you're sharing the new affiliate links that you guys get to access through lawful hyphen living.circle.so, right? And if you downloaded the app, which I did today, this morning, I gotta admit, I do like the circle.so app. I know so far we got to see if any Android users are successful in downloading that app from the Google Play Store. All right. And you can access it that way. But we all already know the browser version is solid. All you had to do is just use whatever email Adam sent to you from support at Freedom from Government so that you can be able to log in. Right. So
Android users are successful.
say that again.
Android users are successful.
And downloading the app from Google Play Store, and you're able to get on the app and everything, right?
Correct.
As a friend-in-law that's present with us, that's glad to hear that. Okay, I'm sure. All righty, because it came up on my live today on TikTok when I was pushing Liberty's Magic Law book, right? Which I have out there too, but I think I'll mention that towards the end. If you guys want to get your hands on Liberty's Magic Law book, which is of course a free download at brotherhassan.com on the off the alibi page, but we also have it for about $27.99 for the video one. But I'm willing to do what I did on TikTok today for you guys, and I'll put the tiny URL in there, and you guys can get Liberty's Magic Law book, the PDF, and the video book. Alrighty, for you and your loved ones, right? That that inner child within, as well as those children without, right? Those outside of you, when I'm using the term without, right? So with that being said, gratitude, and let me think. Let me go get that for you, and then we're going to finish up. I'm going to carry this till about 1:15. So while I'm grabbing that, come on, guys. More. Come on.
Somebody got their hand up.
Who got their hand up? Who is it? Tell me who it is while I'm going through my phone. I can't see real quick. Who got their hand up?
It's me, I think. I don't know if anybody else's hand is up.
Who that? Keys?
I'm sorry, it's Keon.
Oh, okay, cool. Go ahead.
So to bring it back, you said you had asked earlier, was there anything that we didn't cover? That was the other part of my question about the Circle app. So there are new affiliate codes that we need to access from from having the Circle app, or can I still use I guess the website,
The Freedom from
attached
Government
that I have
affiliate links?
to get the affiliate link?
I don't think the Freedom from Government affiliate links are still working. Of course, that means that I'm not sure. So there would have to be a double check on my end so I can make sure I'm informing you all properly. That's the first thing. Second thing, because I actually downloaded all of them.